and all you can see is your pillar, your pillar. Your life becomes so confused because you don't know what to do. You look front, you look back, you look right, you look left. The only thing you can see is your pillar. Akpa mama very, akpa mama for ya. You are my pillar. You are my pillar. When men want to talk about you, they give you different names.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, family.
Ajania, Oshonia, Ajania, Orishirishi Oruko. Just because you have a pillar that sustains your life.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, family. Good evening. It's another show of FunmiAyinke. And this evening is going to be an amazing one. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be one of its kind.
You are.
And I want to tell you and you know what I told you? I said,
and they ask man to talk about you. Some will say that's too complicated. Some will say they don't even know what to say. Because you are dangerous.
Good evening, everyone. This is FunmiAyinke again, and I want to tell you that this evening is a sensitive evening. It's one of its kind. It's a very sensitive night where FunmiAyinke will be joining Professor Egwagkhe to talk about a sensitive topic of mental health. And you know, as we do on this show, before we commence the show at all, I always like us to have an opening prayer. Join me tonight, family. It's going to be 1 hour 15 minutes on this show. I added the 15 minutes because I just want to give Prof enough time to do justice to this topic before I round up the show with him tonight. Come on, family, join me. Let's have an opening prayer right now. We're going to use the second verse of Nigerian national anthem to do the opening prayer. Thank you, everyone. Let me see who's going to join me to do this tonight.
The results and your story is beyond my imagination.
Yeah, family, we want to do the opening prayer with the second verse of Nigerian national anthem. And I invited, because there's music right now, to join me to do this. It's a sensitive night. It's a night of its kind, which I don't want us to joke with, everyone. Please, let's pray. Let's pray. Thank you, everyone, for joining me to do the opening prayer. Good evening. You're joining me live. I need to see your face. Good evening. Hello. Can you hear me? If I'm audible, please, I want you to confirm that you can hear me. Can you hear me, please, everyone?
I can hear you.
Okay, good evening. Good evening. Thanks for joining me to do the opening prayer. And family, this evening is a sensitive night. It's one we are actually discussing a sensitive topic that have made a lot of people to lost their life. And I don't joke with this evening. It's a sensitive evening. So let me tell you why is FunmiAyinke concerned about this topic. Why is FunmiAyinke here to actually discuss mental health? Why will FunmiAyinke to just come on be online to just do something like this evening? Is it because my guy is looking for social media clout, or is looking for this and that? No, everyone, please. FunmiAyinke is concerned about you. FunmiAyinke is concerned about your health. FunmiAyinke is concerned about your mental health. Because when you are healthy mentally, you can do a lot of things for yourself, and the society will be better at large. Let me just say, FunmiAyinke, just like Queen Esther in the Bible, who says, I'm going to help my people, and if I perish, I perish. And that is the mandate that God gave me, to be concerned to do humanitarian services. And I want to tell you tonight, for family, you will enjoy tonight's program. Come on, before I bring up my guest tonight, everyone, we are so blessed tonight to have a guest speaker. But before I bring him up tonight, let me quickly say one or two things to us. Family, I can understand anywhere you are right now because of this program. If you need to cry, please cry. If you need to share that tears, please share it. When you cry sometimes, it heals you from your pain. I want to tell you that I can understand where you are going, what you're going through. Pain is real. I know pain is very real. Pain is real. And sometimes it passed down from our father to us, from one generation to generation. A lot of issues that put us in that frustration, that put us in that kind of mental illness or mental state right now, actually is a result of pain and damages from some of our friends, some of our colleagues, some of our family members, some of those people you trusted so much. I can understand that sometimes life could be unfair. I know life could be so unfair. I know sometimes it's very, very unfair. And sometimes we people take all this pain, all this emotion, we take it on those people that we love. Sometimes we make them feel as if they're the cause of our problem. I don't know if you're following me up tonight. I'm not the guest speaker tonight. We have an expert to discuss this. I just want to quickly talk to you before I bring up our guest speaker tonight. I'm not going to define anything mental. I'm sure the guest speaker will do justice to that. But please listen to me why you are here, why you left BB Nigeria, you left everything to come to FunmiAyinke Live Show. It's because you actually wanted to learn one of those. Please concentrate, have a pen and paper, and make sure you learn something tonight. Sometimes we put all those pain, we put it on those people that we love. And we know, but some of them even thought that as you think that your life is going to end, you don't even see anything meaningful about life again. You are trying to think about that situation. Each time you're trying to come out of it, it's as if you're not just trying enough. And some of us will feel like, wow, who can take me out of this depression? In fact, some of us, when we try to heal ourselves from it, we are trying to be a lion, we are trying to be strong, to take ourselves out of this thing. You realize that the thought keep coming, you keep on reflecting on these problems, and it's making you to see as if life is ending. What is the situation you find yourself? I don't know the kind of situation you think you are. But God will help me tonight before the guest speaker come on board. I want to tell you that your situation, money, that you are trying to look for money, you're not getting it to pay school fees, to do a lot of things, and that makes you to be depressed. Is your spouse cheated on you? Is it that makes your world turn or collapse? Is your home problem school fees issue? Is your home problem loss of loved ones, or you have lost someone that so dear to your heart, and that made you to be mentally the way you don't want to come out of it? Or let me tell you, are you being betrayed by the best friend or in the name of bestie? Oh my God, I might not mention your case tonight. I know that, listen to me tonight, everyone. The purpose of us being here. If you think your problem is so big, if you think your problem is so big that you are the only one in this whole world, if you think you cannot pay the price of winning yourself out of these things, if you think the price of winning is too high, my darling, wait until you get the bill of regret. And that bill of regret, it is very generational. That is the more reason why tonight you need to take yourself out of every situation called mental illness. God is already prepared the way. It is just preparing you to get to that place where He's taking you to. And as the guest speaker will be coming tonight, everyone, I want you to take note of this thing. You are not supposed to rest now at the middle of the road. You are not supposed to see your life as the end of it now because of that situation. FunmiAyinke, I've been through it, and FunmiAyinke was able to come out of it, even though it wasn't easy. That is why I could share this thing tonight with you, and I pray to God tonight that many souls will be healed. Listen to me, everyone. You cannot afford to rest now. You cannot afford to give up on yourself now. You cannot afford to be in that situation now because of what people are saying or because of what. Please, because of what? I know there are a lot of answers that we don't have. In fact, there are a lot of answers that we don't have. There are a lot of questions we don't even know have answers to. But you just have to keep going, my darling. You need to figure out things. You will keep figuring out as you are going. And I want to tell you, finally, before I bring up our guest tonight, you that you are listening to me tonight, that you join us tonight, you are the only one that is responsible for your life. You are the only one that is responsible for that decision. If you sit around waiting for somebody to save you, waiting for somebody to fix you up, waiting for somebody to help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life to the next level. And the best thing we can do tonight is to let you know that you are not alone. You are not alone in that situation. FunmiAyinke loves you. A lot of people love you. You need to summon courage and stop doing this to yourself. Please, family, not to waste time tonight. I'm going to round up the show myself. But permit me to bring up our guest tonight. And as I'm bringing him up tonight to come and talk to us on mental health, I'm going to read his profile once he's on board right now. I want to appreciate Professor Egwagkhe Johnson for taking this mandate to talk to Nigerians, to talk to the whole world about mental health. The Professor Egwagkhe Johnson is a lecturer at the Babcock University. He is a researcher and presently the director of investment group. He has lived and worked in Asian, Americans, and African as a whole. He is a public speaker and highly published scholar. Professor Egwagkhe is a consultant in the area of entrepreneurship, management, and mentor of students. Family, welcome with me tonight as I bring up my daddy. Oh my God, it's an amazing daddy. Oh, I know tonight we are going to be blessed. I know tonight is a night that you will remember for good. I am trying to bring Professor Egwagkhe up right now. Daddy, please, because we have a lot of people here. If you're online right now, I want you to just invite me so that I can quickly see you. Please, Daddy, let me just have you inviting me right now so that it will be easy for me to just accept your invite. Please, anyone help me to find Professor Egwagkhe. His handle is Egwagkhe. Egwagkhe, please, Daddy, if you're here, invite me right now. Invite me right now as I bring you on board. You know, our daddies, most of them, they don't use Instagram. It's FunmiAyinke that is dragging some of them to come and use Instagram. Please, everyone, I want you to help me. Let's join hands together. Let's join hands together tonight, everyone, as you invite Daddy tonight. Daddy, please, I'm trying to get you. Invite me so that, invite me, please, so that I can bring you up tonight. While waiting for him, let me just try and give us this music that is going. Daddy, please, if you are here, I've seen you, but please try to invite me. I try to invite you, I don't know. Invite me. No human being can explain. Nobody, no scientist, no doctor, no one can even explain this. Cause I have a pillar. I'll come on my baby. Hey, I'll come on my boy. I can see him. He said, I'm here. Please, sir, can you please invite me? I try to click on your... Just invite me. Just send me an invite that you want to join the live show. I'm seeing you already, but I'm trying to click on you. Okay, I'm picking his call. Hello, Daddy. Just invite me on live. Just say invite so that I can accept you now, sir. Sir? I just spoke with him now. I know he's going to come up right now. So while we are waiting for him, everyone, don't forget what we said tonight. We are discussing mental health. We are discussing the sensitive things that people don't even get to know that they are a victim of it. I choose not to define anything tonight because we have a guest speaker that's going to do justice to that. Please, Daddy, because of our time, I want you to quickly invite me. Invite me, invite me, invite me, invite me. Okay. Okay. No, he's typing invite. No, sir. Can somebody quickly write how to invite on Instagram on this Twitter? That you can just use that to learn. I just let me go. Can you quickly type how he will invite me? I'm trying to click on it. I can add him on my page. Wow. We are going to make all our daddies to learn how to use Instagram. Oh my God. Please, someone, can you type how to invite? Sorry, sir, you can leave and rejoin the and then click on invite. Okay. Hello, sir. There is an invite on your page. Just invite. There's a plus sign, sir. There's a plus sign. You just click on the plus sign, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, everyone. That is what my is doing right now, bringing all our diabetes on social media. Oh, God, tonight is a night to remember, and I know God is going to do justice to this topic tonight for us. We are waiting for our guest speaker to invite us right now. That they click on icon, camera, plus sign. Okay, if I have to invite him from here, okay, it is trying. Can somebody let me know how to do that? How to invite him from my page? I tried to click on his name. I couldn't get him. There's a plus sign. Just click on it. Yeah, I know. I've told him to do that. We are waiting for our guest speaker tonight. And remember what I told you, that you don't give up at the middle of the road. You don't get to the middle of the road. And okay, that is calling me again. Hello, sir. There's a camera sign. You press camera, the camera sign, the plus icon. Yes, sir. Once you get that, I'll see you then live right here. Okay, Daddy, please just go out and come in again and quickly press on invite so that it will show you how you come in. Yes, sir. Yeah, just join the live show and send invites. Invite is the plus sign, sir. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Tonight, I just want him to do justice to that topic because he had been an amazing speaker on this topic for a long time. In fact, the man that used his own personal life that made a lot of people back on that track. I deliberately wanted him to speak tonight to us so that we can see reason why you don't give up on yourself. You can see reason why you don't just sit around and be waiting for anyone to fix you. You are to fix this thing yourself. It is a responsibility. Don't forget what I said. If you think you cannot pay the price of winning tonight, if you think you cannot pay the price, you don't want to see the bill of regret. I'm sure you don't want to see that. Please, everyone, get ready to learn. Get ready to take yourself out of it. I'll just be playing some music for us tonight. I don't want to really talk much because I want him to do the talking. So praise God, we have him already on invite. I just accepted to go live with him. Everyone, join me, clap your hands tonight, clap your hands tonight, clap your hands tonight. Clap your hands tonight as we bring up our guest speaker tonight. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Give me the sign of clapping, everyone. Give me the sign of clapping. Give me the sign of clapping, everyone. Please, let's invite Daddy. You're welcome. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. It's such an amazing night to have you with us, joining us to give it to us tonight, sir. It's a great privilege to have you despite your tight schedule. And I want to say that family, we have the United Nations joining us tonight to monitor what we do.
Clap your hands.
Oh my God, sir, we want you to have a good network, please. We want your network to be stable because you're our guest speaker tonight. An amazing night to have you with us, joining us to give it to us tonight, sir. It's a great privilege to have you despite your tight schedule. And I want to say that family... Okay, elect, please let me call your attention to that. We have the Peace Corps joining us tonight to monitor this. We have some representative from United Nations monitoring this from background. It's a sensitive topic that really attracts the whole world. It's a sensitive topic. So for FunmiAyinke as the SCG ambassador, trying to do this tonight is like taking some people out of their pain. Please, I want Daddy to join us because of our time. I like to be time conscious. I want to appreciate the likes of some vice chancellors I'm seeing online tonight. I want to appreciate some of the dignitaries that are joining us tonight. I see about 2-3 of them already. I want to say thank you so much for believing in me, your daughter. I just want to say thank you to every of my fans, my family that are joining me tonight. Oh my God, let's wait for him to come on board again. I just want him to have a good network so that we can enjoy this season. It's a season to remember. Please listen to me, whatever you are going through. Whatever it is that you are going through right now, believe me, it is never your fault. Don't blame yourself for it. Don't keep blaming yourself. You need to leave the stage of blame and then take that step of healing tonight. Take that step of healing tonight. You have to determine to get yourself out of that mood tonight. Please, family, clap your hands as we welcome our guest speaker, Professor Egwagkhe Johnson. He is a lecturer, like I said, from Babcock University. And also that is a director right now, is a researcher, is a director of investment group. Professor Egwagkhe has lived and worked in Asia, in America, and Africa as a whole. He's a public speaker and is highly a published scholar. Professor Egwagkhe is a consultant in the area of entrepreneurship, management, and mentor of students. Welcome with me, family, our guest speaker tonight, Professor Egwagkhe. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Engineer Ambassador FunmiAyinke, for the privilege to speak to your family. And I must say, that's been a wonderful thing knowing you and working with you.
Thank you,
this
sir.
is my first time connecting with the family as a whole to address issue that is somehow sensitive, and a lot of people do not know that we are all in it together. And at the same time, I want to tell the personalities present here today that it's an honor to share and to learn from all of us, a denominator that we cannot run away from. And that for us to face a future that is uncertain and challenging, especially this time in Nigeria, we need the support of every person, whether strong or weak, big or small, financially capable or not. And as somebody who has been in the classroom for the past 25 years, teaching and working with students and adults, somebody who has done a lot of research work and has consulted with different organizations, and as a father to a lot of people and as a mentor, I have seen and I have experienced the challenges of a mental health illness across board and across different locations. It will surprise you to know that this illness has no geographical restriction. It has no respect for gender, education, or any person. It's touching both all of us. And if we look at
Prof,
it from the...
Prof, sir.
Yes.
Please kindly permit me to quickly appreciate and welcome the President of the Women of Africa from the Ghana. She just joined us tonight. Good evening, Ma. Thanks for joining us. We are so grateful to have you here. Continue, sir.
Yeah. If you look at the way this issue has been discussed by scholars, you discover that it affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. And let's just take a good look at this. If we detach or we remove from us the power of thinking, we are to vegetables. And if we are detached from the power of thinking, our power of resilience is affected. And if our state of mind the power of every man and woman to have a stable and profitable relationship, the physical health of a human being, they depend on the mental power and mental wellness of that being. And this is what gives us the power and the ability to enjoy life. Now imagine if this is touched. So when the World Health Organization was defining mental health, it says it's a condition of mental wellness that enables you and I, irrespective of our age, race, income, gender, education, to cope with the stress of life. And at the same time, the ability to learn well, work well, and contribute to others and the community within which we live. So there are questions that we may have and we may have to answer. What is it that will rain on us and we cannot identify where this rain started? That is a big question we need to ask. One, a lot of people go through mental illness because of exposure to social rejection. I was a foreign student in Asia, and I remember it's a school. It belongs to a Catholic university. And this Catholic school has about 23,000 students. And we're only 3 Africans, one from Uganda, one from Ghana, and my very self. So you can easily identify us in the whole university. And for every person, this is their first time probably to see an African. And people will like to touch the hair on my head just to feel it. And I wasn't comfortable. And there was that tendency to cheeky out. I had wanted to hide myself, but I must be in the classroom, no matter what. And there were questions that were also irritating. So at a point in time, I felt, should I just go home? What is this? But you know what thing that kept me going? I have to tell them that even Africans, they are human beings. And for every class we enter, I developed that strong mental power to tell everybody I must prove a point as an African. And that drew a lot of persons closer to me. I was not part of the reading and studying group. I was part of the assignment groups. And it will surprise you to know that I married somebody from Asia as a result of that.
Your networks are. We are not hearing you again, sir. Your network is, well. Hey, can everyone hear? I can't hear Prof again. Can you hear him? Sir, your network went off. Hello, sir.
Yes, can you hear me?
Your network went off, and you stopped at you married from Asia. That was where you stopped.
Okay, sorry about that. I was saying that it will surprise you to know that my wife is from Asia country. She's oceanic. So what I decided and what I understood is that for every negative situation that comes your way, your mental power to turn it to a positive outcome is what gives you that power of resilience. And that is what keeps you going. So I'm going to situate this in what I have seen in homes, where some children, they feel rejected or neglected by their parents, saying that one person is loved beyond the measures given to others. It happens at home. And at the same time, there are times we experience social exclusion, telling people you cannot be us because you are not us. And there are times to experience discrimination, not because we invited it, but that is how people perceive us to be. And we are being bullied because of who we are. And we receive names. This, they affect how we think. But this is what I have come to realize. No matter where you are placed in the society or where you come from, your power to determine who you will be and how you will be and shape the environment around you will always come from you. Like I will quote our sister from Pakistan. He said, a bullet can kill terrorists, but education will eliminate terrorism. So let our broader perspective and horizon dictate how we address the bigger picture of social rejection. And there are situations when we have seen that advanced situations, advanced and unfriendly childhood experiences, they affect our mental health. I worked in Rwanda for 7 good years. And that was when I started understanding the meaning of post-traumatic experience. I've never seen it, but it became very, very obvious to me. And what was it like? There were situations when I have to see young people, just like within the age of 20, 21, 22, having to fall down or at times hiding from human beings. What was this all about? 1 or 2 events they witnessed was during the genocide. And this affected them inside out. And I will also share my experience as a lecturer at Babcock University of persons who have attempted suicide, of which some of you may be aware. There was a student who jumped down from a story building. What was it and what was her problem? Her parents separated. And for every time she's coming to school, she sees other parents bringing their words to the school. And the only person that is bringing her is the driver. And because of that, she felt unwanted and she felt not loved. And she had wanted to end it. So what was the support mechanism people did to assist her? Is for her to see human beings beyond her immediate confinement. And that is the support system she got through counseling. And she was able to kind of overcome her challenges. And today, she's living a life that we feel is wonderful. There were situations when I felt that, look, this was too bad for me. And I remember in 1998, I was still in secondary school. That was when I became an orphan. I was in secondary school when I became an orphan. And it was challenging. And I told myself that I would stand up for myself at that age. I was about 15, 16. I told myself I would stand up for myself. But, you know, that was my coping mechanism in life. but it turned me to somebody who developed antisocial behavior. I became too loud. I became argumentative. I immune myself against suggestions and corrections because I shaped my thinking to reflect that. Thank God, when I finished my secondary school, I went to a university that, look, it was like I have never experienced anything discouraging. I had friends who could hang out. I had good boys and good girls around me that who could talk, gist. And I had supporting sisters and brothers I could go spend holidays in their homes. And one thing in the midst of my confusion that gave me that strength was reading. I could stay in house reading. Reading, and telling myself, look, my future is in my hands. You may not have the capacity to go through this, but this is what you as a person, you have to. Do not separate yourself from others, because self-isolation is a killer. It makes you go down the more. And I will proceed to share with you that element of hopelessness or feeling of unwanted by others is something we must learn to kill first. If we must migrate and develop a balanced life that is self-supporting and is society dependent. There are persons who suggested that poverty could be a reason for this. It's good news, but this is bad news. I have discovered that even those people without money but experience love, they have everything. I lived in Kebbi, that is in Kebbi State, for a year and a half. And for some of you who have lived in Kebbi or part of the north, you will discover that poverty is visible on the streets. You can see it. But there were places we visited, even the smiles on the faces of the have-not is not something you can buy from the market. You cannot. And the close and connectedness of the family is not something you can borrow. It's in-house. The ability and the power to share with the little available is unbelievable. And I also want to take your mind, some of us who are Nigerians that are living down south here, there are places on your way to Agor that when you pass by, they don't have a decent house. And these are places I always visit to go and buy plantain and yam, at times gari. And when you get to those homes, you discover that the dress one is wearing may be the dress the next one will wear. So the issue of we're going to kill a goat for Christmas is not possible. The issue of, look, we are going to buy a chicken to cook stew is not possible. Because they know what is at home and what is not at home. But what is possible is the father's assurance and the mother's love. And this is what keeps them going. Like a week ago, I was in Umuaron. Yes, Umuaron. I was in Umuaron. Just part of Ilori that they speak Yoruba. And what took us there was to go and visit a professor at Babcock University whose elder brother died in the US and they have to bury in his own village in Umuaron. If somebody had told me that Prof, who is a renowned scholar, a consultant to the federal government, will come from that village, I will not believe. Because you have to go on Tide Road for about 25 minutes before you get to his village. And in his village, there is no light. And the professor I'm talking about is more than 75 years old. What was so unique? I asked Prof, what was so unique about you leaving this village to come to the city and you study engineering and you are well respected? How come? He told me that he took a decision when the missionary visited his village. That was when he took a decision that I want to be like one of these people. And you know the appearance of those people? They were wearing white cloth. They were dressed in white. And that was what changed his orientation. And because of changing that orientation and his mental power and power to take a decision, today he has lived above the limitation of poverty. So have not should not shape our mind, because even the rich, they cry. And even the rich, they have this feeling of isolation and loneliness. And they also need companion. So money cannot bring it. The only thing that can bring this about is love. And this love is what draws us nearer to one another, to friends, to family, to colleagues, and gives us the power to believe that I am wanted. It gives us the power to believe that I am wanted. So for the parents that are in the house, I have this to tell you. If your child is telling you, I want to be alone, please, it's a time for you to wake up. Nobody should be alone. Nobody should be alone. Let me share this with you. I spent about 5 years in the Philippines as a student and as an adjunct lecturer to Adventist International University of Advanced Studies. Till date, I'm still an adjunct professor in that university. There is a university where Indonesians are very, very plenty. And in that university, 2 young ones fell in love. And they were in love. Somehow, somewhere, the girl was no longer interested. And they had a very constructive discussion before the girl told the boy that she was no longer interested. And the boy concluded the discussion that if you leave me, I'm going to leave this world. And the girl never understood it. So the boy went to his hostel and the girl also went to his hostel. When she was in the hostel, she got a call from the boy that, look, just give me 30 minutes. History will be made between me and you. She never understood it because this boy had gone to buy a rope. He bought a rope, went to his room. And the rest is history. He died because of rejection. In 1994-95, there was a man who brought his 2 kids to Nigeria, and they were living in the same room with an Ethiopian. He brought them in to shape them because they were misbehaving in the US. They were in the room alone. The elder one sent the younger one to the grocery to purchase some items for him. And the Ethiopian gentleman was coming to his room to rest. And what he saw was the elder brother of the young man who had just gone to the grocery attempting suicide. And he has to raise alarm. And when this young man was asked what was his reason, the common denominator was that his parents, they don't love him. So if you're a parent in the house, your first duty to your children, to your neighbors, to even your parents is love. A broken heart is a broken brain. And when the brain cannot function, the body cannot function. And if you are in this house and you are contemplating that, look, I'm going to separate from my husband or from my wife, please rethink. Because you don't have power over what comes next. And if you are a man in this house and you are abusing and mistreating your wife, I want you to know that you are contributing to her mental illness. Because for every woman, she has a point and she has a level she cannot go beyond. Because women are the first to love, and they also want to be the last to love. And men were created not to exercise their physical muscle on them, but to carry them where they are weak. So please, prevent situations or activities that will make somebody feel unwanted, and a situation that will want somebody feeling of avoiding or going into isolation. Please, as much as possible, we should avoid a situation that enables or enhance somebody feeling hopelessness. Hopelessness. As a scholar, I have watched what happened between Israel and Palestinians. As somebody from the Niger Delta area, I have seen civilization coexisting with poverty in some of the communities in the Niger Delta area. And I have seen this with my two eyes, not that I was told, where you will see a city you cannot enter, not because you don't want to enter, but because by your placement in the society, you cannot get to that city. And this, in most cases, they will create a friendly, eternal thinking, such we alter how we feel and the behavior we display. In the realm of theoretical thinking, we always refer to this as frustration aggression. Frustration aggression. When we feel frustrated, we become aggressive. And the more we feel frustrated and we display anger, we affect even people who are not connected or who are not the source of the stress. And that is why when you watch the trend in the Nigeria politics now, most of the youth, they are annoyed with the old politicians and they are vesting their frustration on them. And for every time you turn to social media, you see caricatures of our leaders. Why? The youths are unhappy. So if your child will speak back at you, if your wife will speak back at you, it's because you have created that situation of hopelessness. And every one of us, irrespective of who you are and where you are from, the first thing you cherish in your life is a sense of freedom. I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be free from myself so that I don't become a slave or a prisoner of how I think, how I feel, and how I act. I also want to be free from you, that I don't retain and entertain meta abuse. Just a word, just a smile, just a note can put smile on somebody's face. The same way, just a word can change somebody for the worse. Hopelessness. And I just want you to see a kid. There was a little clip I watched on social media the other day where a small girl was saying, look, they should flog me. I want to be in school. But this time around, they are sending me home. Let them flog me. This is a kid, a very little kid saying, please punish me. I want to be in school. I want to be in school. Now, sending this child home, we are gradually killing the interest of that child and the hope of that child. Sometimes I was at my place in Lagos. I will not, it's around the Egwagkhe. I drop off my eldest brother at the airport. So, you know, when you carry a lot, when you are going to US and you carry a lot, there is a limit you can go. So there were items that he could not travel with. So I decided, after dropping him off to take those ones that were excess luggage. So when I got to my place, I was just coming down from the car. A woman approached me with 2 kids. And this is what she told me. Buy food for my children. I am not a beggar. So I turned around and I looked. She was holding 2 kids. So because of where I was, I ordered food and I asked her to sit with me. I ordered food and we ate. After we have eaten, I just turned to the car and I brought out, I had SS Gary and Ogbolo, grounded Ogbolo, that my brother could not travel with. So I brought them out and I gave to her. She collected. And she turned around and looked at me and asked me, what do I do with the Ogbolo, grounded Ogbolo you gave to me? Oh. I had money in my pocket. And I gave to her. And I told her, this is all I can give now. But I know someone like me will help you someday. Because I don't live there. I only come to visit, or if I have anything to do in Lagos and it's late, I stop by, sleep the following day, I will be on my way. Now, imagine a situation where this woman has come to that point of having negative feelings about life. And she's no longer concerned about herself, but her children. Food for my children. Mothers in the house, this is why I always see your power of resilience. And this is where I want every Nigeria to support every person you see on the streets who has a genuine reason to ask for help. That little help that you provide will help to save a life that in the future you may never know. It does not mean that we have to be generous to the point of making people to depend on us. Rather, let them understand that they can be better off by the way we hug, by the way we provide, and the way we smile, even if we don't have anything to give. Now, there are extreme conditions when people begin to feel that I've been rejected by the society, have been rejected by my family, that look, even me, I want to delete myself from this world. Now, before somebody will get to this point, I always make example when I'm teaching students that we should understand and enter the mind of somebody who is mad. Because somebody who is mad will drink water from anywhere. We go naked and the person will not understand. We sleep anywhere without entertaining fear that someone will kill me. Now, if you enter into that realm of a madman, you will understand what it means for you to ever reject yourself. Self-rejection is quite different from self-denial. You may take that decision that, look, I don't want to be poor and I don't want to be rich, that I will forget my neighbor or my neighbors. That is a personal decision. But a situation where somebody feels this world is no longer a place to live is something we have to find a way to prevent. And the only way we can do this is by providing a support structure. A support structure. If I may continue, I want to take our mind to look at it in a different way. I don't know if you have seen somebody talking to himself. I don't know if you have seen somebody talking to himself and he's just talking to himself. By his grace, in 1996, That was the first time I bought a Mercedes Benz. The first time I bought a Mercedes Benz, second hand anyway. That was 1996. And I was driving from, I went to Lawasin to pick up something. And I was going to pass through Sele. Then I will face Egbe and enter Ikotu. And you know, as a young man then, I was on speed. And I never saw this young girl. She just wandered into the road and I have to match the brake. I did not kill her. I did not hit her with a car. But I came out of my car in annoyance. My job and my thinking was to punch her seriously. But this girl just sat down. I was looking at me. And my very self, I was surprised why she was looking at me. And I went to her and I asked, what is your problem? You know, the Nigerian way of doing it. What is your problem? Because I was shaking. You know what she said? I just lose my job. That was a tough one. I just lose my job. You know, the idea of losing a job was what was playing on her brain to a point she forgot she has entered the road. I just lose a job. These are life experiences that people, they go through. And in the process, they are reasoning and they are talking aloud, yet they are not aware. And at times, some of us will see these people who will just laugh. And we say, this one don't start. This one don't be cool. You know, we joke about it, but these are serious issues. That person just needed love. Somebody to encourage, somebody to stand by, and somebody to hold a hand, a pillar, a structure to hold on to. There are moments when you hear somebody telling you, I hear voices. You hear somebody telling you, I hear voices. And you say, you are joking. The person is not joking. The person is having it rough. And the person is having it tough. The person can no longer reason well and is hearing voices. If you have such a person, please, that person needs medical attention. It's not something you have to gossip or carry as a rumor. Because in the process of doing that, you are killing that human being. That person needs medical attention. That person needs medical attention. This, I'm telling you, has no restriction in terms of age. There are younger ones that are telling you, I'm hearing voices. Just like you have adults telling you, I'm hearing voices. If you ask the person, what voice are you hearing? He will not tell you because he doesn't know. And these people, they live in our midst. They live with us. We walk with them and we think they are normal. No. It's not something to joke with. And this is irony. You may think you are so normal like me. I believe I'm normal. But there are moments that stress will change my dynamics. Stress that comes from the workplace, that comes from the family circle, that comes from friends, the decision to hit a deadline, school fees, vacations that I cannot fund, that requires my funding. Once this stress, they pass and create anxiety for you, panic will enter one's life. To a point that if somebody, yes, that if somebody is saying a word, you don't want to hear.
Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, sir.
Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Let me just.
No, you are still continuing, sir. I just want to acknowledge the presence of Professor Dixon Hamlet here. He's the founder, the president of the National Commandant of Peace Corps of Nigeria. And we want to say thank you so much, sir, for joining us tonight. He just joined the live chat. Thank you, sir. We'll continue, sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Ambassador FunmiAyinke. Let me say this. There is strength in the power of meditation. It doesn't, irrespective of your religion, you need the power of meditation and self-reflection. You need the company of those you love and those who love you to live a healthy mental life. We always tell people that what you tolerate can become your liability. So if you stay in the midst of those who don't love you, who disrespect your human dignity, who treats you as a rag, you become a slave to yourself and to them. Live in the company of those who will cherish you and who will respect you. And for every dining table you go to, once respect is not part of the food, stand up and walk away. I also want you to know that you need social support. Like I will always encourage my friends and my students that if you don't have a church, if you don't have a mosque, or you don't have anywhere to go to as a support group, please go and look for one. If you go to church, go and dance the way you can. If it's a club you go and do it. If it's a gym, go to the gym and punch out anything you want to punch out and come back home sweating. Of these people, you need their involvement in your life, and you also need people to keep your secrets. And this support structure, they make you stronger. They give you the power to bounce back no matter where you are in life. It is also good that you enter into constructive conversation. Constructive conversation. I was privileged to go to Dar es Salaam. Then we spent I think we spent 2 days in Arusha. From Dar es Salaam, we went down to Arusha, and we were discussing. I discovered that I was too loud. I was loud in the midst of others, and you know, somebody in the midst of us is from Arusha. He said, "Look, that."
Prof, your network is hanging.
Sorry, I'm with you now. And the person said, "Look, I was in Nigeria. I could not differentiate the voice of a man from that of a woman because everybody was speaking with energy." And I asked him why. He said, "No, just pay attention. When a man is speaking here in our culture, you will know the voice of a man. And when the woman is speaking, you know the voice of a woman." And I paid attention. He was right. And I could hear the difference and the distinction between a man's voice and a woman's voice. And from
Prof,
then,
we have 10 more minutes. Prof, we have 10 more minutes for you on the show.
From then, I learned that, look, constructive conversation is not about shouting. It's not about argument. It's about reasoning and understanding each other's perspective. What this does is that it brings about inclusiveness and equity in conversation. And that gives people the power of saying, look, I belong to a group. And if you have somebody who is in this, because I'm not a medical doctor, you may hear the issue of, look, he's a consultant. I'm not a medical person, but I'm a consultant in the area of entrepreneurship. Assist people to get medical attention. And when you think you've done your best, expose the person to music that are uplifting to the mind and to the soul. By doing away from him or her. I want to say thank you to Engineer Ambassador Dr. FunmiAyinke for the privilege given to me to interface with a generation that is going through what all of us are going through, and for the privilege to grant us the power of mental health awareness, so that by knowing this, we can become a support structure to one another, and we can become better Nigerians today and in the future. Thank you for the privilege, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Prof, for being here with us. Don't leave us now. Don't leave, sir. You have to, we want two, three people to ask questions. I'm sure some of them have one or two questions to ask you. Please, family, in case you have questions to ask, I want you to indicate. You can type your questions. I'll read it out on your behalf, or you can signify by inviting me right now, so that you can have the privilege of talking directly with Prof and ask your question. We have just 2 more minutes to do that. 2 more minutes for questions, please. If you have questions, if you have something to ask, if you are going through something and you want Prof to actually address it tonight, indicate right now as you round up the show very soon. Please, everyone, don't let us waste time on this. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed of yourself. This is about every one of us. That your own is not showing doesn't mean you don't have mental issue. I will say that almost 90% of Nigerians have this kind of problem. Everyone have it. So don't be ashamed to ask questions tonight. And I'm going to lead right now. I think, Prof, I have a question, please. And I don't. If you have questions, I'm going to ask my own question. I want you to ask your question, everyone, before Prof leaves tonight. Thank you so much, staff, for your time. My own question is this. From experience and from what people, I read people's messages on my DM, and what they normally tell FunmiAyinke, how do we handle people that talk bad about us? How do we handle people that, you know, like, I'm going to set an example of one of my daughters in the house. I've seen her already. She was supposed to serve in an area, and probably they posted her to another place. And somebody that's supposed to be a friend was not making jest of her that, you told us I'm going to serve in this place. Now you don't serve in that place again. And fortunately for her, her name came out again. She now have a desired position, place to serve. But why do we handle people that don't even wait for God's testimony in our life before they start making jest of us? And these are people that are so close to you, you don't even know how to avoid them. Sir, please, can you quickly, in 1 minute, address that for us? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Engineer. This is what I always share with people.
Sir, there's a question from another one. It looks like what I just had. So I want to read this so that you can add the two together. So Fadishala said, how do we deal with the manipulators, sir? The manipulators. That's a topic on its own, manipulators. How do we deal with manipulators, sir?
Thank you. Let me start with the first one. I always tell people that criticism is unpaid consultancy.
Prof.
It's unpaid. Allow people to criticize you. You know what they are doing? They are assisting you to be better off. By the time you correct yourself from what they are saying, you are better than them. That is the first I always tell people. Then the second one I always share with people. Those who will discuss you at the back is because you are better than them. So if somebody is talking about you, thank God the person is talking about you. One thing is that you don't pay tax to the government by talking. So you don't control how people will talk about you, but you control your self-esteem and your self-image.
Prof, hold on, sir. Family, can you hear that? You cannot control them from talking because talk is so cheap. It doesn't have tax or anything on it. But you have to Prof, repeat that line. What do we have to control? Sir, we are learning, sir.
You have to control your power of self-esteem and dignity. So your that by so doing
and dignity, your self-esteem and dignity.
By so doing, you live a life that is envious by others. So those who used to talk about you, they have nothing to say.
Talk is cheap.
But when you enslave yourself because of what they are saying, they become your masters. They begin to manipulate you. How will somebody manipulate you if you don't subject yourself to their manipulation? One, when you do not trust yourself and you seek self-validation from others, you become a victim of manipulation. So the first thing you do, validate, be your validator. And therefore, nobody has the power to question who you are except you question yourself. That is one. Two, be the captain of your own ship. Because if you listen to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you become all things to all men. So manipulators are everywhere. They will be from your home. Because I always tell people, if I have your signature, I can write your check. So don't allow somebody to have your signature. Because with that signature,
Prof, please. I want to be picking, you know, sir, there's some of us being here right now is to learn. Family, can you hear that? I mean, when you are being conscious of your self-esteem and dignity, there's something else you must take note. Prof said, if I have your signature, I can sign your check. So don't allow anyone to have, oh my God, Prof, please, I want them to hear it again because this is crazy right now. Like, my signature, you can't sign my check.
Yes, wow. Once I have your signature, I can write your check. Once I have studied you to a point I know where you are weak at, I can manipulate you. So don't become all things to all people to a point that you become a toy, a screwdriver, or a spinner in the hands of every person.
That is the answer. How do you handle manipulator? Is you not to be one thing that they can actually define. Don't be defined by everyone. Don't let them turn you to a toy. Oh my God. So there's another question here. Yes. Sir. Yes. This person said, when a person feel like they are not fulfilled in life, how can such person come out of that mind? And the second one is, okay, have you gotten that? The second question is that, how do you deal with hallucination as one of the symptoms of mental health? Hallucinations. The third person, person said that, because I wanted to do it together. The third person said that it's not easy to have a support system because of fear of stigmatization. Yeah. From those that they open up to that. How can one handle that?
Okay, now, yes, let me start from the bottom. Stigmatization comes as a result of not trusting others. Do not let loose everything about you if you have not built trust in the person you want to interface with. I'm from Edo State, and our people will always tell you, if you are sick, don't be ashamed to put your nakedness before a medical doctor. But they are not saying your nakedness before everybody. but before a medical doctor. Because you trusted that person and you know the worth of that person. So when we understand the difference between sympathy and empathy, we will know who to interface with that will not be stigmatized. And because of stigmatization, there are a lot of people that are dying of things that are preventable because they don't want to be labeled. Please, there is joy in life beyond stigmatization. Because by the time you are dead, medical students will use you to do experiments.
Shilimo said, how can we watch this again? You're going to watch this again on my YouTube channel. I will post it on my YouTube channel in case you're interested in watching it again. Prof, continue, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Young ones and people at the morgue will play with your body. So there is no need to say, okay, I'm going to allow shame to keep me in a cave. We always see people living with disability who have breakthrough and the way the society celebrates them. That is a support structure. When it comes to hallucination or anything compulsive or schizophrenia, your job is quite simple. See a medical doctor or see a psychologist. These are persons, or a counselor, these are persons that have been trained to handle complex situations. Don't shy away. Don't allow your name in the society, your status anywhere to prevent you from seeking help from those who are trained. Now, there are persons who are talking about self-fulfillment, a sense of disappointment that I have not reached where I set to go. Life is not a takeoff like the aeroplane. No. We rise, we fall. And we rise. The only time we should be afraid is when we refuse to stand up when we fall. When I was a king, a very king, young one, I was a kid. And I know Jim Nwombodo was a rich man as at that time. Many of you may not even be hearing of his name. Jim Nwombodo, he was a rich man. I was a kid. When at a point in time, his name just faded. His name faded. But you know, that man is still alive. He faded, but he has not disappeared from this world.
Prof, sir, there's this question I want you to address, and that will be the last question for the day, sir.
Thank you.
I just want you to touch that area because it's so sensitive when it comes to mental health. It's about relationship, it's about spouse, about marriage. You know, we have a situation whereby the man will be beating the wife or the wife beating the husband. And both of them, they still live together. They don't want to divorce themselves or they don't want to leave themselves alone. No, this is a sensitive thing because either we like it or not, 70% of what is causing mental health in a woman is abused marriage, is abused relationship. And many of the people have actually one or two reasons to actually cancel. I realized that when you even try to talk them out of it, they love the man, they love the woman. So the two question is this, we have an aspect, one aspect of the question is that the two of them are in love, yet they are bullying themselves to the extent that both of them are mentally deranged. And the second one, let's say they don't have love. I want you to address those two. The two people in love or they don't have love, yet they live togetger. And that is the major causes of mental health. What do you have to say to that, sir?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Engineer FunmiAyinke. One, love has a language.
Prof, did they? Go ahead, sir. Prof, love has a language.
That's we speak this language. But you know what? A man or a woman will beat the wife out of frustration. Spouses are beaten out of frustration. Even there are times when nagging will make a man not to come home. I will share this with you. My time in Rwanda. There was a man who was always drunk. He was on our way home. We always see him. He's drunk, but he was still living with the wife. The wife will take him from where he used to drink and drag him home. Tomorrow, this man will come back. So, because I don't understand Kinyarwanda and Kiswahili, I was forced to ask questions. Why is this woman still staying with this man?
Please permit me to acknowledge the presence of my daddy, Professor Waheed-Adekojo, the Vice Chancellor of University of Lagos. He's just joined this right now. And I want to say thank you, Daddy, for your support. It's good to have you here. Please, let's continue, sir.
Thank you. And I was forced to ask, why is this woman with this man? And what I was told is simple. They have 3 boys, and she cannot leave them without a father. So she was just tolerating the nonsense of that man because of the children. And to me, that was not love. It was not love. Like I said before, I said, what you tolerate can become your liability. If we're in a toxic relationship, it's better to be alive than to be dead. Because
do you suggest divorce or separation?
I don't advocate for that, but if that is the last option that will keep the two alive, is okay. In my case, I will always prescribe family intervention to control and medical or clinical attention or psychological counseling to assure that, look, what triggers such is eliminated. In most cases, it could come from communication. They don't know how to sit down and discuss. That is a problem. And in some cases, there are times the person who owns the power of the economics of the house begin to say, I'm going to exercise supremacy over the other person. And this could trigger stress. And there are persons who are not in love and they are not compatible. And if you discover that you guys are not compatible and there is no love, you cannot force it. Because I know in the past, there were persons who married because that was the only option on the table.
Because of time, Prof. Because of time. Because of time, something came to my mind and I still want you to address it. Because after when you are done talking, there's nothing to say again. You have said it all. I will just have to round up the show immediately. So there's this thing that I want you to address also. I want you to talk to our men, in a situation whereby they have a brilliant woman, a charming, brilliant, eloquent woman, and they don't want him to out to work. I mean, that's also one of the major causes of mental health, mental issues in women, by keeping them at home as a full housewife. What do you suggest that such men should do? And what advice do you have for those women that are so mentally derailed just because they are indoors? They don't go out. What do you have to tell us, sir?
Slavery is a crime. Whether your wife is brilliant or not, by letting her work, you are giving her the power of socialization. By caging her in the house, you are limiting her from achieving her full potential. Every man should not be afraid of his wife. And that is my philosophy. No man should be afraid of his wife. A wife is a wife and is a partner in progress. The success of a wife is the success of a husband. And the success of a husband is that of the wife. When there is that mutual beneficiary relationship between the two, there is no need of keeping a wife at home. She's not a furniture. She's not a sex toy. She's not a liability.
You said something I want you to repeat again. She's not a furniture, right?
She's not a furniture. She's
Women
not
are not furnitures. Women are not furnitures. Oh my God. Wow.
They cannot be and should not be. They are not for decoration. They are to stand by the man so that the wholeness, the completeness of a man is revealed by their presence.
Wow. So, sir, what do you say to those women that when they even allow them to work, they abuse the opportunity and they make the man to have mental problem? What do you charge? How do you address that?
The woman should think of humility. It's in that element of humility that we derive respect for one another. No matter how far you have climbed in the ladder, remember people took you there. So that when the ladder is removed, you don't fall to the ground and you are in trouble. So in supporting one another, in giving hands to each other, we will all climb together. And I love the Ubuntu philosophy in African culture. Because you exist, I am. So because husband exists,
because you exist, I am. I think that's enough for us to hand the show tonight. Because you exist, I am. And Prof, that point you mentioned right now will take us to the last question for the day. And both of us are rounding the show together, rounding up together, Prof. You know that you're leaving me here. Now, Prof, you said because you exist, I am. Because I exist, you are. I just want you to say the last advice you have for those naysayers, for those ones that they don't know the effect of their words in the life of another. They don't know the effect of what they're. I mean, it's so sweet to talk ill of anyone, but the effect in the lives of those ones, they don't even come back to see it. I just wanted to advise them tonight. How do we handle that situation? I mean, Prof, it's a general advice for everyone. Those ones that like to gossip, those ones that like to talk bad about people, that like to pick fault in people's life. Sir, I want you to advise them generally tonight.
This is what I'm going to say. No matter how big, tall a tree is, it can never be a forest. We need the support of the strong and the weak, the illiterate and the educated, the rich and the poor to have a balanced life. We all have mouth. This is what makes it wonderful. It cannot solve all the problems. It cannot bring out all the insult, but it has the power to heal every wounded soul. So be a positive energy, be a positive speaker, be a positive motivator to change yourself and to change the life of others and the society we live in. With a positive society, all of us will be positive people. And with that, we move ourselves from this generation to the next generation, knowing fully well that we have lived a life that is worth living, and we have contributed positively to the mental health of other people, both far and near. Thank you, Engineer Dr. FunmiAyinke, for the privilege.
To fulfill our purpose tonight. Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much for coming. And I want to say lastly, as I round up the show with Prof tonight, I want you all that you have been victim of mental problem, mental health, mental illness, whatever the situation you have right now. I will end this show with a word from Prof tonight. And when he said that word, that thing struck my mind. He said, no matter where you come from, no matter where you are right now, the power to shape your environment always comes from you. So you are responsible for your life. And I want you all to get up from that situation right now. I want you to decide right now in your heart that you are coming out of this. Fight it through. Please fight it. Come out of it. Remember, that word that puts you in that situation, Prof said, those words has no tax. Nobody is vetting it, so it's so free. It's a free talk. Why are you allowed something that is free to have you in that situation? Why are you giving people your signature and they are always signing your check? Please, tonight, I want you to get up and tell yourself, I am back. Tell yourself, I am back. Bro, please help me to tell them. They should come back.
We are back together. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. Everybody, help me to appreciate Prof. Help me to appreciate Prof. Help me to appreciate Prof. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir. And family, it's such an amazing night. It's such a night to remember. I want to appreciate God for making this world a powerful one tonight. Mental health. We've been able to touch all the aspects of life. There's no aspect of your life that we have not touched tonight. So what does that mean? If you remain in that situation, it is your fault. Remember what Prof said. You need to get out. You need to mingle. You need to find something doing. Beyonce said, not do anything at all is not an option. Please, family, get up on your feet. Get yourself healed. No one's going to fix this. You are to fix it. I want you to fix it tonight. Hold your pillow, cry out your pains and tell yourself, I am out of this. Thank you, everyone. Remember, I love you so much. I come your way again as God leads me. Bye. Love you. Let's end the show with this song that we started with. Our pillar. Our pillar. God is our pillar. Good night, everyone. I love you so much, everyone. Don't let me fall down. You have been my backbone. Don't let me fall down. I am totally sold out. I'm totally sold out. I'm totally